Good morning, everybody. I'm Chuck Gates. I'm from Helena, Montana. And what I wanted to basically talk to you about is what happens with pretty much all of us in this industry. Sooner or later, somebody's going to call you and ask you to join their company or compare their company to your company. And so I got introduced to the industry in 1975. And at that point, I saw people that were making a lot of money. However, I just kind of thought, well, all you need to do is just get in one of these companies, and if you just work hard, you're going to go to the top. But the fact is that all companies aren't created equal. And so I like to call it comparing apples to apples. When somebody calls me on the phone and they say, hey, we just came across this company, you need to look at this, this is going to be big. And that's to basically look at the company and set those people down and say, okay, let's compare apples to apples or companies to companies. And if your company's better than what I've got, I'll join you in it. However, if mine's better than what you have, I'd like to have you join me in mine. And so one of the things that I've always done is just to take people through that. And sometimes there's programs that come out, like it's the Stop Smoking program, okay? Or maybe, for instance, Tammy, my wife, in the very beginning, she got involved in a company that was jewelry. Well, they did have men's jewelry. They had a ring and a bracelet and a necklace. And that was before guys were wearing earrings, right? So, but the fact is that when you look at that and you go gender specific, you've just cut half of your market potential right off the planet, right? So if we're dealing with a woman's products, whether it's makeup, cosmetics, things like that, your market share just got cut worldwide by half, because most of the guys ain't buying that stuff, right? And the same thing, I was in a company that was actually an oil additive. Tammy had no interest in oil additives for automobiles, right? So once you go to finding where is my best market potential that is something for both men and women, well, the next thing is to look down and say how big is that spread in the marketplace? So if it's something for both men and women, is it good for men and women at infancy? Is it good for men and women at the top age, in their 80s and in their 90s? Because all of a sudden you start getting your market share cut down again when you find things that actually just specialize in a market in one area. The next thing is to look at is if you were to go into, for instance, into a drugstore and you just started walking up and down every aisle. And so in your own mind's eye right now, if you just start walking up and down every aisle in a drugstore, is there anything that your product actually would replace or could be used in place of? And as you come down and you go through the eye care aisle, all the salines, all of the things, then you go down to skin care, all the lotions, potions, and then as you go over, and now we have stomach additives, we have all of these different things, is there anything that your product actually replaces in those areas? Well, now we get all the way back, we've worked our way clear back to the pharmacy. Is there anything in your product actually replaces behind the counter? And the big thing is why people do it as a business. When most people get into a network marketing company, they get in for one reason, money, okay? However, money is just why we all work for something, right? But what if your product is so good that people don't get in it for the money? They get in it because it morally actually hits them in the heart, and they have to say, I'd share this with people whether I could make money at it or not. What if it's not just about people? What if your product is so good that their best friend is actually a pet, a dog, a cat, a plant? What if your product goes that wide, that it covers everything? Well, that's how you pick the right company. And I believe we've all picked the right company. And because we know what our product does, we know where this company's going, and the market potential is incredible. So thank you.